Good afternoon. Continue on with my series of September astrology readings concerning love, life, career, the whole nine. Done from the aspect of divine feminine, which is this top row, divine masculine, which is the bottom row, and sacred balance on how you can combine or balance in between feminine and masculine. This is for Virgo. Again, it's for the whole month of September. This is number 6 out of the 12 of the signs. So with 6, you're dealing with foundation, but if you look on it from the esoteric aspect, the version of the Bible will tell you that everything was created in 6 days. So from there, you get a sense of perfection, which still ties back down to foundations. When you have everything already established, then you have a solid foundation. So Virgo energy, what you're going to be facing through the month of September. The good side of what you're going to be facing is the spiral dancer, which is a 5. In this sense, this is a manifester's energy. More of a little bit of manipulation, but it's proper manipulation. This is a movement in general. You're going to be moving ahead. Think about the spiral itself. When you have a spiral flow, such as she's holding in her hand right there, things are going in motion. They're flowing, and you're able to grow because you're returning to where you came from, but you're not being bound to it. And that's the way the universe kind of operates anyway. Think about water going down the drain. It goes in that circular flow, and it's hitting everywhere it already been, but at a different perspective each time it goes around the circle. It's either going to be wider or tighter. But it's able to re-experience things but not get trapped in what it's re-experiencing, and that's soul growth. So you're going to be the spiral dancer in the sense of the circuitous route of energy, such as I just described, which is going to be based on your perception. Remember what I said with this 5. It's a manifestor's 5, but it's tied into manipulation. If what you are putting your energy, your intention into, addressing your intuition and doing, active works, whether that's tied into petition writing, prosperity spells, whatever you want to call it, just, prayer, whatever you're using to try and get ahead and dance your way through life. If you are using proper perception of, okay, I spoke it, then I deserve it. I guess we're going to have to get into faith with this one. If you have proper faith in what you are willing or wishing for, then it will come to you, and it will not be in a position to where it is being blocked during that cyclic flow, that circuitous route. So if you're going to put your energy into something and try and produce it, do it. Because remember, your catchphrase or your catch energy is the 6. You got a good foundation. You're established. You're sitting still and you're ready to move. Where was it going? Okay, yeah, but with that 5, you got to make sure that in having that foundation that you are going to move properly and not get in your own way. Make sure that foundation was built on solid ground and not on a bunch of quicksand. And that'll come into soul deceptions. And again, they're still dealing with perceptions. If you've been fooling yourself for months, weeks, years, days, hours, whatever the case may be, it may come to bear during this 9. That's where I was going. With 9 having the highest vibration, it's your chance to get out of cycles, karmic cycles, or to just bring situations in an end. Not every occurrence you go through is a karmic tie. You'll kind of know when you get them karmic ties. Those are the big things that kind of almost destroy you when you go through them. But just in certain situations itself, if you're trying to bring them to an end, this is the best time to do it because that 9 is sitting there at your lap. Okay, that was the good part of it, is that you're going to have to, you get the opportunity to create a way out by honoring your perception, which is going to be tied into your intuition. So a good little, third eye usage. The heavy part of the month, or the heavy energy for the whole month of September, is going to be tied into the dream walker in reverse. It's going to be tied into you understanding that you can no longer live the zombie life. This is not just a direct conspiracy level where, you got zombies and sheeps and all that stuff out here. This is if you are walking around out here like a zombie and you're just letting life live life for you, you're subject to your situations. You get caught up in stuff, and then you get overwhelmed and you don't know how to get out of it, and so you wait until you see a way out instead of creating a way out. That's when you get caught up. So again, it's tied into perceptions again. The energy on the card is an 8. 8 is abundance, but when it's in reverse, like I just got through saying, it becomes overwhelmed. So the dream walker's energy is tied into dreams, the collective good, and illusions. More like what I was saying. If you're caught in a situation and you're trying to do what you can to stay in it because it's for the collective good. Biggest example I can give you is, well, I'm staying in my marriage because I don't want my kids to have to grow up without a mommy or without a daddy. And at the same time, it's like your kids might have a better service if they grow up in a stable environment, because you sitting there fist balled up in a situation with your significant other, or there is just a obvious disconnect. We got to stop fooling ourselves into thinking that our kids don't see, let alone sense and feel these things. So one of the greatest things, especially me, I'm older, growing up in the 70s and watching the earlier years from the 60s and 50s, it was almost your damn duty to stay in your marriage until death did you part, not knowing that you died and was pulled apart along the way. So I'm not sitting here and telling everybody to, just up and run. You need to do that with thinking. You need to rely on your perception and do your homework and figure out where your situation is at. But all this is saying, if you're a Virgo, you can't honor that zombie life much longer. It has gotten you to a point of overwhelm, and you are living an illusion. And what may be perceived as a good for the collective, remember, you're a part of the collective. If it's not good for you, then how could it be good for the collective? That's a misnomer. So don't stay out here caught in a zombie land. Stop walking around not living your dreams because you're too busy trying to feed the dreams of others or feed the illusion of things in general. I'm going to stay in this job because, that's what's expected of me. I'm going to stay in this marriage because that's what's expected of me. I'm not going to honor what I hear or feel and see within my own soul because that's what's expected of me. It would be not cool for me to go out and buy candles or to want to buy crystals because that's not accepted in the collective good of my family. Do not bow your soul down for nothing. How you find balance within that divine feminine, which is the honoring of your intuition and higher self and creativity, is you're needing to become the fire prince. And remember, when I'm saying prince, it also automatically converts over to princess. The fire prince energy. It's a 40, and at 40 becomes a 4. It's balanced. You need to be aware of the box that you're in, but that box does not have to be a box. That box could become a shield. When you know the 4 elements around you, you got air to the east. That's your reasoning and your communication. You have fire to your south. That's your creativity and just basically movement itself. You have water to the west. That is emotions and basically the whole principle of life in itself. Think about water. All life basically needs water. And then to the north, you have earth, which is your security and foundations and even tied into your financial sense of well-being. So when you have that box around you and you know all those elements and how they affect you or how you can affect them, then that gives you a higher sense of optimism, and then you need to move with a sense of aggression. It does not mean go out here and start a fight with your significant other or with that job or whatever situation that had you out here acting like a zombie. It means that you need to aggressively burn through, because that's what a fire does, is it burns. Burn through those things that, say it with me, no longer serve. And that's a reoccurring theme because we are in 11 and what no longer serves has been spotlighted. It's up to us to get out of it or to stay in it and get caught in a circuitous route because we didn't go down the drain where we were supposed to. So now we're just like that marble, just keep going round and round and round and never making it out the loop on a direct time. So for the divine feminine, you need to stay in motion. Stop living like a zombie and burn away what you need to be burned away from or what needs to be burned away from you. Coming down here to the divine masculine, which is the order mind and logic and all that stuff. The reasons why you probably fell prey to that zombie stuff are going to be tied into your order mind. That's your patriarchal energies that said these are the rules for living. And you have to fit within this box or you are outcast. And that is an illusion. So the way the divine masculine has been panning out and what can help you during this month of September is the dragon's duel in reverse. That means stop the fight. Stop that inner conflict. Stop that morality issue and make a conscious choice. That morality issue, kind of like I was saying earlier with the marital situation. And I guess I'm harping on this because somebody really needs to hear this. If you are in a position of your marriage has basically fallen apart, but you feel trapped because, again, like I said, you don't want to tear the family apart. You are already tearing the family apart if you guys are not operating like a team. The children are getting an example of what marriage is supposed to be like, or what adult living is supposed to be like. It's based off the example that the parents are showing. So if you are in a loveless home, or if you are in an abusive situation, or if you are just pretty much in a situation where a husband sleeps at the front end of the house and the wife's sleeping at the back end of the house, that's the precedent and principles that you are instilling in your children, so that you are now instilling into them a sense of an illusion, and you're going to show them where morality does not really have to be honored at the end of the day, and therefore you're going to teach them inner conflict because you haven't taught them how to deal with external conflict. So your problem with that is you need to just stay in motion. The offering for the month of September from the masculine perspective is that it's going to present a time for you to stay on that order mind and get rid of what no longer is in order. The way that's going to pan out on the bad side of how heavy the energy is going to be for the month of September is the High Lord of gratitude and service in reverse. And that's that selflessness and that humility and that conscious action. Remember, you had a conscious choice over here. It was time for you to make a conscious choice on what you're going to subscribe to. Just how logical is your situation? Now that you made a logical choice, you need to make a logical action. You need to move on that choice, and you need to make sure that you are not placing yourself in service of others who pretty much ain't exhibiting gratitude in the first place. And now your selflessness is truly selflessness because you have been left out of the equation. There is no sense of self because all you know is the illusions that you have already bought into. The best way that you can balance that divine masculine energy is the Queen of the Light in reverse. And going back to before I go to that, with that bad energy, which I said is the heaviest energy that's going to be offered and riding up on you for the whole month, it's going to be a lot of self-reflection. But what you cannot do is get in that mirror and say every answer that you know you need to hear, but not make a conscious choice to act on them. I know I'm not supposed to be here. I know he abuses me. I know she abuses me, but it's fine. I like staying a zombie. Don't do it to yourself. And again, the way out is to open that light. The Queen of the Light in reverse. The light is being shined down upon you. It is an 11. 2018 adds to 11. 11 is illumination. It is the spotlight. Spotlights will either show you the way, or if you sit up under it too long, it will burn you. Don't get burnt. This is an offering through illumination and enlightenment to choose to celebrate life. And that's all going to be based on that 15. I'll show the card. I'm getting a nice little glare there. It's all going to be based on that 15. If you honor that light that's being shown to you, then it will give you the answers you need. That enlightenment is just basically turning on the light bulb that's already in you. It's not bringing in new light. It's just turning on the light that's already within that is going to allow you to celebrate life. And that's going to be based on that 15, which is that 1, your potential to make a move. 5 is motion. If you don't make the proper move, then you're not honoring your Virgo energy because you don't have a solid foundation. So the way that that's going to balance out is between your sacred feminine, which is your intuition, and your sacred masculine, which is your instincts. The way to find sacred balance is to honor the energy of the sacred union. And it's in reverse, which is basically telling you, you need to look at the whole thing. The sacred union is if you look at your partner and you can't see yourself, it needs to end. The 2 plus the 7 equals a 9. If you look at your partner and you cannot see yourself, it needs to end. And I'm not trying to advocate divorce, but I damn sure ain't trying to advocate staying in situations that do not serve your soul. You need to divorce the notions and Western moralities more than you need to. It is what it is. Don't worry about where you're from. I don't care about whose rules, Christianity, Hinduism, it doesn't matter. If you're being abused, even if it's just on the emotional, you have the right to protect yourself because the sacred union within your soul, that peace of your mind, is greater than that peace that you're going to find in anything tied to a piece of paper. So your partnership with yourself needs to be one of romance. And if you're not loving yourself to where you just are really happy with who you are, you're lying to yourself. And therefore, you will not be a sacred balance because sacred balance is a sacred union of what the feminine needs and what the masculine needs and what your soul needs. Peace and wholeness.